In this screencast, I'll show you how to add an animation when your zombies die. So right now in our survivor game, here's what we have going on. We have a survivor that turns towards the mouse. When I click the mouse, he shoots. He shoots 2 bullets right now. We'll improve that later on. But we also have zombies that chase our survivor. When we actually shoot the zombies, they just simply disappear. They're gone. So what we want to add is an animation for when those zombies disappear. So to do that, we're going to create an animation called Splat. I already have my Splat images in my images folder for Greenfoot. You can see they're right here. I have 6 of them. And the Splat starts out very small and then gets very big. So our zombies are essentially going to splat on the ground. So to do this, what we want to do is we actually want to add a new class for that. We'll call that class Splat. And we'll just set Splat1 as its class image. Now you might have noticed I already have an explosion class here. The explosion and the splat use essentially the exact same code, just different images. So to do the splat animation, we'll go in there and we'll do a little bit of coding. It's going to use our animation method exactly the same way we did for the soldier. We're just going to change the way that it happens at the end. So what we actually need to do here is we need to come up top and we need to create our Greenfoot images. So we'll go Greenfoot image Splat1 equals a new Greenfoot image, and then again in parentheses and quote we're going to put the file name splat1.png and put a semicolon. We always use PNG files because they have transparent backgrounds. Now I know there are 6 of these, so I'm just going to paste this so that I have 6 copies, and I'm just going to change the numbers quick. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and for splat we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because we're doing animation, we need an animation counter, and that is a public integer. Forgot to add that. And we're also going to need an integer to keep track of frames. So public integer frame, and I always make that equal 1 to start. Again, this should kind of be review from making the soldier animate, so we'll just quick make a animation method. So we'll say public void animation. And this animation is quite a bit longer, so it's going to animate from 1 through 6. But once it hits 6, then we want our splat to disappear. So that's where the change is going to come in. So again, we're going to use the same kind of code that we used to animate our soldier and zombies. We're going to say if frame equals 1, we're going to set an image, splat1, and then we're going to set the frame to 2 so that it can go to the next frame. I'm actually going to copy this code quick and paste it in here. Remember that we want this to be else ifs. So I add this, make this an else if, and then frame 2. It kind of needs to go like this. This frame needs to match this image. This frame needs to match the next frame. So frame 2, splat image 2, frame 3. Again, I'm going to copy and paste this so that I don't have to type everything out. So that should be, press Control-Shift-I to fix my indentation, and then I'll just go through and change the numbers. So I got 3 here, splat 3, frame 4, right here, frame 4, splat 4, frame 5, right here, frame 5, splat 5, move to frame 6, and then we'll go frame 6, splat 6. Now, after splat 6, we want to move to frame 7. Okay? We don't have a 7th image. This is where we're going to actually get rid of the splat. So then we'll do else if, or we could just do a straight else here. Frame equals 7. And then what we want to do here is we want to do get world dot remove object, and we want to get rid of this. We want to get rid of the splat. So it's going to basically animate all the way through the sequence, and then when it gets to the last frame, it's going to get rid of the animation. Again, this animation runs a little bit fast, so we'll use some of our modulus math to take care of that. So we'll say if animation counter, and then %, and then I'm going to do 2 for this one. So if animation counter divided by 2 has no remainder, or basically if it's a multiple of 2, then what I want to do is I want to run the animation. So if I compile this, make sure we have no errors. Hopefully I did a good job copying and pasting and changing all the numbers. If we come out here and we just drop a splat on the screen just to check it, it's going to be very tiny. It's right here. But when I press play, the splat kind of went. I actually think that that splat animation is a little bit quick, so I'm going to slow it down here with animation counter 4, and it also is really fast because I forgot to count up the animation counter. So right here we should have put animation counter equals animation counter plus 1. That's why that was so fast. So now we'll actually drop that animation on there on the screen again and press play, and then we got a nice splat. Now we have that animation, but again we want it to happen when we kill a zombie. Like right now our zombies just kind of disappear. So what we want to do is we need to find where the zombie dies in our code, and that's in our zombie class. And you can see right here we have a method called die, and in the die method the zombie looks for a bullet. It gets the intersecting bullet. If the bullet is not null, or if we're hitting a bullet, we're going to remove the object, the bullet, and then we're going to remove the object, the zombie. What we want to do here is we want to say get world dot remove or add object, and then we want to have a splat happen. So we're going to say new splat parenthesis parenthesis comma get x. We want it to be at the get x and the get y, or the x and the y coordinate of our zombie. Now this kind of will work. It actually won't. The code is correct, but it's in the wrong spot. Remember that Greenfoot or anything object-oriented can't do anything when you remove the object from the screen. So we want to add the splat quick before we remove the object. So again, a good rule to kind of think about is that remove object this has to be the last thing that this object does. So we're going to look for the bullet, we're going to add the splat, and then we're going to get rid of the zombie. So if I press compile, and I come back out here, now if I just drop a zombie on the screen, and we press run, and we shoot him, he turns into a splat when we shoot them. And this will happen for all zombies. So that's how you can make your splat animation. It's also how you can build your explosion animation, and that's how you can make that object appear when another object disappears from the screen.